Why do we make irrational decisions? Why do certain people influence us more than others? And how can we train our minds to work for us instead of against us? The answers lie in psychology. In today's video, we're uncovering fascinating psychological principles that can help you navigate life smarter and with more confidence. Before we dive in, take a second to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because we're always bringing you the most interesting, research-backed insights. Plus, drop a comment below. What's a psychological topic you'd love to learn more about? In today's fast-paced world, feeling disconnected from those who matter most is all too common. Whether you're dealing with a strained friendship, a distant partner, or challenging family dynamics, your relationships don't have to suffer. The great news? You have the power to transform and strengthen these bonds. Ready to reconnect and revitalize your relationships? Let's embark on this journey toward deeper, more meaningful connections together. Discover your relationship style, a quick quiz. Before diving into the strategies, let's take a moment to reflect on your current relationship dynamics. Answer the following questions honestly. 1. How often do you actively listen when someone else is speaking? A. Always. B. Sometimes. C. Rarely. 2. How do you usually resolve conflicts in your relationships? A. By talking openly and finding a compromise. B. By avoiding the issue until it fades away. C. By arguing until the other person gives in. 3. When was the last time you expressed gratitude to someone close to you? A. Within the last week. B. Within the last month. C. I can't remember. 4. How comfortable are you with being vulnerable in your relationships? A. Very comfortable. B. Somewhat comfortable. C. Not comfortable at all. 5. How often do you make time for people important to you? A. Regularly. B. Occasionally. C. Seldom. Keep listening, as the results and personalized feedback based on your answers will be revealed at the end of this bookshot. Section 1. The power of active listening. Listen to understand, not just to respond. Most people do not listen with the intent to understand. They listen with the intent to reply, says Covey, author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. This quote underscores a common issue in relationships: our tendency to focus more on our response than on truly understanding the other person's perspective. This habit, while natural, can often lead to misunderstandings, conflicts, and a sense of disconnection in relationships. Active listening is more than just hearing the words someone else is saying. It's about engaging with those words, interpreting them, and responding in a way that makes the other person feel heard and understood. Research has shown that active listening can significantly improve relationship satisfaction. According to a study published in the Journal of Applied Psychology, couples who practice active listening report higher levels of satisfaction and intimacy. This skill isn't just for romantic relationships. It's equally important in friendships, family dynamics, and professional settings. The reason active listening is so effective lies in its ability to build empathy. When you listen attentively, you're not just taking in information. You're also tuning into the speaker's emotions, motivations, and needs. This deepens your understanding of the other person and creates a safe space for open communication. Practical tip: reflective listening. Reflective listening is a powerful technique to enhance your listening skills. This involves paraphrasing what the other person has said before you respond. For example, if a friend says, "I've been really stressed at work lately," you might respond with, "It sounds like your job has been overwhelming recently." This technique not only shows that you're paying attention, but also helps clarify any misunderstandings. Reflective listening also allows you to slow down the conversation, giving both you and the other person time to process the information and emotions involved. Furthermore, reflective listening can prevent the common pitfall of jumping to conclusions. It encourages a dialogue where both parties feel understood, which can reduce conflict and build stronger emotional connections. By practicing this regularly, you'll find that your conversations become more meaningful and your relationships more fulfilling. Common pitfalls to avoid. While active listening is a powerful tool, it's important to be aware of common pitfalls that can undermine your efforts. One such pitfall is the tendency to interrupt. Interruptions, even if well-intentioned, can make the other person feel disrespected and unheard. Another common issue is the urge to offer unsolicited advice. While advice can be helpful, it's important to ensure that the other person is seeking it. Sometimes, they simply need to be heard. To avoid these pitfalls, practice mindfulness during conversations. Focus on the present moment and resist the urge to plan your response while the other person is speaking. This will help you stay fully engaged in the conversation and respond more thoughtfully. Section 2. The importance of vulnerability. Dare to be vulnerable. Brené Brown, a leading expert on vulnerability, famously said, "Vulnerability is the birthplace of love, belonging, joy, courage, empathy, and creativity." Yet, many people shy away from vulnerability, fearing rejection or judgment. However, being open and honest about your feelings can significantly strengthen your relationships. Vulnerability, at its core, is about being authentic and honest about who you are and what you feel. It means taking emotional risks and exposing parts of yourself that you might normally keep hidden. This might sound intimidating, but it's a crucial component of deep and meaningful relationships. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you invite others to do the same, creating a space where trust and intimacy can flourish. A study in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that individuals who are more vulnerable with their partners experience greater emotional closeness. This principle applies to all types of relationships. Sharing your fears, dreams, and insecurities with a friend or family member can deepen your bond. Vulnerability fosters a sense of connection and understanding, as it allows others to see and appreciate your true self, imperfections and all. Practical tip: start small. If vulnerability feels daunting, start with small acts. Share something minor that you wouldn't usually disclose, like a childhood fear or a recent struggle. Gradually, as you become more comfortable, you can open up about more significant issues. The key is to create a safe and supportive environment where both parties feel comfortable being open and honest. The role of vulnerability in building trust. Trust is the foundation of any healthy relationship, and vulnerability is a key ingredient in building that trust. When you share your vulnerabilities, you demonstrate that you trust the other person not to judge or hurt you. This, in turn, encourages them to trust you and be vulnerable as well. It's a reciprocal process that strengthens the bond between you. However, it's important to recognize that vulnerability doesn't mean oversharing or revealing too much too soon. It's about finding a balance between protecting your emotional boundaries and being open enough to build genuine connections. As Brené Brown emphasizes, vulnerability should be a choice made with intention, not a reckless disregard for personal boundaries. Vulnerability and conflict resolution. Vulnerability plays a crucial role in conflict resolution. When disagreements arise, it's easy to become defensive and protect ourselves by closing off emotionally. However, this often exacerbates the conflict rather than resolving it. By approaching conflicts with vulnerability, you can diffuse tension and foster a more constructive dialogue. For example, instead of accusing your partner of being inconsiderate, you might express how their actions made you feel hurt or neglected. This shifts the focus from blame to understanding, making it easier for both parties to empathize with each other's perspectives and work toward a resolution. Overcoming the fear of vulnerability. One of the biggest obstacles to vulnerability is fear. Fear of rejection, judgment, or being seen as weak. However, it's important to recognize that vulnerability is not a sign of weakness. It's a demonstration of strength and courage. It takes bravery to expose your true self and risk being vulnerable with others. To overcome the fear of vulnerability, start by challenging negative beliefs about vulnerability. Remind yourself that vulnerability is a natural and necessary part of human connection. Practice self-compassion and acknowledge that it's okay to be imperfect and to have fears and insecurities. The more you practice vulnerability, the easier it will become, and the more rewarding your relationships will be. Section 3. The Art of Apology. Repairing relationships through sincere apologies. It's often said that love means never having to say you're sorry, but this couldn't be further from the truth. According to Dr. Gary Chapman, author of The 5 Languages of Apology, a sincere apology can heal many wounds. Yet many of us struggle to admit when we're wrong, let alone apologize for it. An effective apology has 3 parts: acknowledging the offense, expressing genuine remorse, and making amends. Skipping any of these steps can leave the other person feeling dissatisfied and hurt. Research published in the Journal of Positive Psychology indicates that couples who regularly practice forgiveness and apologize when needed are happier and more resilient. The components of a sincere apology. 1. Acknowledgement. The first step in a sincere apology is acknowledging the specific action or behavior that caused harm. This involves taking full responsibility for your actions without making excuses or shifting blame. For example, Instead of saying, "I'm sorry if you were hurt by what I said," a more effective apology would be, "I'm sorry for the hurtful comment I made." 2. Remorse. Expressing genuine remorse means showing that you truly understand the impact of your actions on the other person and that you feel regret for causing them pain. This step requires empathy and a willingness to put yourself in the other person's shoes. 3. Amends. Making amends involves taking concrete steps to repair the damage caused by your actions. This could include changing your behavior, offering to make up for the harm done, or simply asking how you can help make things right. Practical tip: use I statements. When apologizing, focus on your actions and feelings rather than placing blame. For example, instead of saying, "I'm sorry you felt hurt," say, "I'm sorry I didn't consider how my actions would affect you." This subtle shift shows accountability and empathy, making the apology more sincere and effective. The role of forgiveness in apologies. Forgiveness is an essential part of the apology process, but it's important to recognize that forgiveness is a choice, not an obligation. When you apologize, you're not entitled to forgiveness. Rather, it's something the other person may choose to offer, based on their own feelings and needs. However, research has shown that practicing forgiveness can have significant benefits for both the person offering forgiveness and the person receiving it. A study published in the Journal of Behavioral Medicine found that individuals who forgive others experience lower levels of stress and higher levels of emotional well-being. For the person receiving forgiveness, it can be a powerful form of emotional healing, allowing them to move past the hurt and rebuild trust. Apologies and rebuilding trust. Trust is fragile and can be easily damaged by hurtful actions or words. Apologies play a crucial role in rebuilding trust by demonstrating that you recognize the harm caused and are committed to making things right. However, rebuilding trust takes time and consistent effort. It's not enough to simply apologize once. You need to follow through on your commitments and show through your actions that you're trustworthy. This may involve setting clear expectations, communicating openly, and being reliable in your words and actions. Over time, as you demonstrate your commitment to the relationship, trust can be rebuilt, and the bond between you can become even stronger. Section 4. Nurturing relationships through quality time. Make time for what matters. In his book, The 5 Love Languages, Dr. Gary Chapman emphasizes the importance of quality time in relationships. Whether it's a romantic partner, a friend, or a family member, spending uninterrupted time together can significantly enhance your bond. Interestingly, a study conducted by the National Institute of Child Health and Human Development found that the quality of time spent together matters more than the quantity. This means that even if you're busy, short but meaningful interactions can have a profound impact. Quality time is about being fully present and engaged in the moment, rather than simply being physically present. Practical tip: create rituals. Establish regular rituals that you can share with loved ones, such as a weekly coffee date, a nightly phone call, or a monthly outing. These rituals provide consistent opportunities for connection and can become cherished traditions over time. Rituals also offer a sense of stability and predictability, which can be comforting in relationships. The importance of unplugging. In today's digital age, it's easy to become distracted by technology, even when spending time with loved ones. However, research has shown that the presence of devices can reduce the quality of interpersonal interactions. A study published in Computers and Human Behavior found that people who engaged in face-to-face conversations without the presence of devices reported feeling more connected and satisfied with the interaction. To enhance the quality of your time together, consider setting aside dedicated, unplugged time where you put away your devices and focus solely on the person you're with. This allows you to fully engage in the conversation and be present in the moment, which can deepen your connection and strengthen your relationship. Practical tip: plan regular date. For couples, planning regular date nights can be a great way to reconnect and nurture your relationship. This doesn't have to be anything extravagant. It could be as simple as cooking dinner together, taking a walk, or watching a movie. The key is to prioritize this time and make it a regular part of your routine. For friendships, consider planning regular friendship dates, where you can catch up and spend quality time together. This could be a monthly brunch, a weekend hike, or even a virtual coffee chat if distance is a factor. These planned moments of connection can help maintain the bond between you and your friends, even in the midst of busy schedules. Balancing quality time with personal space. While spending quality time together is important, it's equally important to balance this with personal space. Everyone needs time alone to recharge and pursue individual interests. Respecting each other's need for space can prevent feelings of suffocation and maintain the health of the relationship. A healthy balance between togetherness and individuality allows both parties to grow as individuals, while also growing together as a couple or as friends. This balance can also prevent burnout and keep the relationship fresh and exciting. Section 5. Expressing gratitude. The transformative power of gratitude. Gratitude is more than just saying thank you. It's about recognizing and appreciating the positive aspects of your relationships. According to Dr. Robert Emmons, a leading researcher on gratitude, regularly expressing appreciation can improve your physical and psychological health, as well as your relationships. A 2015 study published in Emotion found that couples who expressed gratitude toward each other felt more positively about their partner and were more satisfied with their relationship. The same principle applies to friendships and family relationships. Expressing gratitude can make those around you feel valued and respected. Practical tip: keep a gratitude journal. Take a few minutes each day to jot down something you're grateful for in your relationships. This simple practice can shift your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant, fostering a more positive outlook and encouraging you to express your appreciation to others. The science of gratitude. Gratitude has been extensively studied for its psychological benefits. Research has shown that practicing gratitude can lead to increased happiness, reduced stress, and improved overall well-being. Gratitude works by shifting your focus away from what's lacking in your life to what you have, which can create a sense of contentment and fulfillment. In relationships, gratitude acts as a powerful bonding agent. When you express gratitude, you're acknowledging the positive contributions of the other person and reinforcing the value they bring to your life. This can strengthen the relationship and increase feelings of closeness and trust. Practical tip: express gratitude in creative ways. While verbal expressions of gratitude are important, consider getting creative with how you express appreciation. For example, you could write a heartfelt letter, create a photo album of shared memories, or plan a surprise celebration to show your appreciation. Small gestures like leaving a note on the fridge or sending a text message can also go a long way in making someone feel valued. Your quiz results: reflect and revitalize. Now that you've explored the strategies for improving your relationships, let's revisit the quiz from the beginning. Mostly A's. You're on the right track. Your relationships likely benefit from your consistent efforts, but there's always room to deepen those connections. Keep nurturing the bonds you've worked hard to build. Consider challenging yourself to take these habits even further by exploring more advanced techniques, such as deepening your emotional intelligence or mastering the art of nonverbal communication. Mostly B's. You have a solid foundation, but there's potential for growth. By focusing on the strategies that resonate most with your current situation, you can enhance your relationships and enjoy even greater fulfillment. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone and try new approaches. Small changes can lead to significant improvements in how you connect with others. Mostly C's. Your relationships may need some extra attention, but don't be discouraged. Every step you take to improve will make a difference. The tools and insights you've gained here can help you rebuild and strengthen those important connections. Remember, it's never too late to start, and even small efforts can have a profound impact. Take things one step at a time and celebrate your progress along the way. Remember, the results aren't a measure of your worth or potential. They're simply a starting point. Wherever you stand now, the future of your relationships is in your hands. Embrace the journey and trust that positive change is within reach. Conclusion: building and maintaining strong, healthy relationships is one of the most rewarding investments you can make in life. By actively listening, embracing vulnerability, offering sincere apologies, spending quality time, and expressing gratitude, you're taking significant steps toward enriching your connections with others. As you implement these strategies, be patient with yourself and those around you. Relationships are dynamic and ever-evolving, and so are we. It's okay to stumble and make mistakes along the way. What's important is your commitment to learning and growing together. The journey to better relationships is ongoing, but with each step, you'll find yourself more connected, more fulfilled, and more at peace with the people who matter most to you. Take these lessons to heart, apply them in your daily life, and watch as your relationships transform in ways you never thought possible. You've already taken the first step by listening to this bookshot. Now, continue to walk this path, and know that with each effort you make, you're building the kind of relationships that can withstand the test of time. Your future is bright, and your relationships are worth every bit of effort you put into them. The more we understand the human mind, the better we can navigate the world around us. Psychology isn't just about theories. It's about real-life strategies that can change the way you think, feel, and act. If you enjoyed today's breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and explore more of our content. We cover everything from cognitive biases to emotional intelligence. And remember, join our community absolutely for free to get more information on this topic. Let's keep unlocking the secrets of the mind together. Want more? We've got you covered. Click the link below and get even deeper insights. No cost, just value.